I was already 5 days late on my rent, so in my mind, I was like...
Honestly, like, what's another week gonna do? I'll be fine.
I was like, it's fine. I'll just go next week. Like, it's already, like, late. Like, you'll survive, I promise.
Before I could even finish the thought.
It's 5 days after the first of the month, and you guys still haven't paid your rent.
Ugh, it was my landlord already emailing me about the fucking rent like a shark. Like, you hungry? Shut up, bitch. Like, she's always just saying something. Like, I could not stand that.
She wanted something to drag me about so bad, because I had just dragged her a couple months earlier about the dryer.
Hey, roommate.
Hey, oh my god, it smells like gas whenever I run the drying machine. Do you smell that? It smells like gas.
Wait, it kind of smells like gas.
Yeah, it smells...
Wait, isn't that what you just
said? Do you guys smell
Yes,
gas?
it's like every time I run the dryer, I smell gas. I'm gonna email her.
So my roommate sent the landlord an email about the gas smell in our house.
Gas is like never the scent that you want to smell inside of your apartment. And especially for me, it was scary because I had literally just run away from home in the middle of the night. And I was like, bitch, like, I cannot. Imagine me showing back up at my parents' house with all my bags. I was like, hey, yeah, the place that I fucking ran away to in the middle of the night blew up. Or imagine me in the hospital. I, like, God forbid, died. Like, oh yeah, he died from a gas leak inside of his house in this house in San Francisco that he was renting from this random Chinese lady with his friends. Like, at that point, it's like, okay, I might as well just work things out with my parents. Like, you're fixing the fucking dryer.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? I have literally no clue what gas you guys are smelling because I went downstairs and ran the dryer and it doesn't smell like gas. And I had this maintenance man who wasn't really a maintenance man, it's some nigga she was fucking on the side. Cause tell me why we saw him come through, it was just this random Asian man, ain't no badge, no nothing in sight. Like, so what company he work for? Exactly, bitch, that's your side piece. That's your side piece. And he didn't smell it either, and so the dryer isn't nothing. Continue using it. Thank you.
Using it and eat shit and die is basically what she said.
Basically, yeah.
She was just a real, like, on the budget, on the back end, through the side door type of bitch. And like, it's okay if you're a thrifty ass, cut corners ass bitch, but then when you're renting a house to people and the dryer smells like gas and it's permeating through their house, and then my bed falls through the floor one time. Yay. So anyway, months later, I was home alone with one of my other roommates, and she goes like,
oh my god, I smell gas again. Do you smell that?
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh hell no. That's when I was like, okay, like, we definitely have to, like, say something now, because this is crazy.
Who should send the email to her?
I mean, you're the one who smelled it first, so why don't you just email her, like, the eyewitness?
No. Can you do it? I'm scared. I'm scared of her.
Okay, that's fine.
So anyway, my roommate got to keep her hands clean. She never showed up or voiced any support for the gas that she smelled, and I made a new enemy.
It was a Sunday evening, and I guess I had texted, not emailed, my landlord about the dryer.
Are you texting her?
Yes, I'm texting her.
I think that's her. We had been going through this saga with the dryer where sometimes when we ran it, we'd smell gas inside of our house. Since September, and at this point in the story, it was November. And every single time she would check with the repairman on the dryer, she would smell nothing, or there would be nothing wrong with the dryer, and then she'd be like, there's nothing wrong, you guys can keep using it. At some point, she had told my other roommate that she was gonna get a new dryer, but that just like never seemed to happen, and we were still smelling gas. That text message I sent her was the first and only time I had ever talked to her about the gas in the dryer up until that point. And before that, me and the landlord had a pretty like amicable relationship. I was the reason why we got proof of our utility bill, because before she just like wasn't sending it to us. And so I texted her asking her like, hey, can you like explain this situation? And she did, and then we got that whole thing taken care of. So I was like, okay, period. I'm just gonna do the same thing with the dryer.
Hey landlord.
Hey, I came immediately immediately after you sent that text message so that I could pretend to care about the fact that you guys are smelling gas in your apartment for the past 2 months. Oh, right, you lived downstairs for a couple weeks out of every month, so you were just right there when I texted you. Yeah, so we were over here in the kitchen, and then my roommate here smelled gas, and I smell it too, but apparently, like, she's been, like, really smelling it because her room is above the laundry room. And so we were just trying to let you know about the problem that's happening in your house that we're renting from you. Do you want to say anything since you're the one who fucking smelled it, or are you just gonna stand there and say nothing? Okay. So, yeah. Oh, that's so strange. The repairman I called said that nothing was wrong with the dryer, so that's really weird. I know. The solution to that problem, though, is actually calling a real repairman, not your friend from down the street. And so then maybe someone with a license can actually, like, check and make sure that the people who you're renting an apartment to aren't smelling gas in their apartment for 2 months. But honestly, like, no, yeah, I totally understand. It's the technology these days. Technology, yes. Technology, yeah. But okay, so I'm gonna actually call a different repairman tomorrow on Monday, and then we're gonna see what he says, and I'll update you guys. And then if the dryer's just like broken or if it's beyond repair, I'm just gonna get a new one. No, yeah, I totally get that. It's like so annoying. Like, who wants to buy new appliances? But when you're renting a house to people and they've been smelling gas in their apartment for 2 months, it's like you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Yeah, okay, well, I'll let you know what the repairman says when he comes tomorrow. Okay, on Monday. Just keep us up to date. Yeah, keep you guys up to date. Thank you so much. Thank you, seriously. Thank you. My patience was already wearing very thin because this is a safety hazard that we were living in, but I didn't really know what to do. I wasn't going to go out on a limb and like call my own repairman because I didn't have the money. I was working at the fucking bank. And, you know, you just want a good relationship with your landlord, but I just felt like we were kind of getting the wool pulled over our eyes, and so I was starting to get real irritated. The days just kept passing. Oh my god, today is the day the repairman is coming finally. Like, this is the third one. I know, but she told us yesterday that she was just gonna get a new one. Yeah, she said she was gonna get a new one if this one was broken, but it's been like 2 months and we've been smelling gas, so like, I wonder what this repairman's gonna say. Did you see anyone downstairs while you were home all day? Yeah, you were a roommate who was still in college at the time, so you were home all day. Did you see anyone? Oh no, I'm useless, remember? I couldn't even text her about the fact that I was smelling gas in my room. Of course I'm not gonna provide any valuable information right now. Wait, what? So did you see anyone like come in, or like did you see a repairman, or like... Where... Okay. Anyway, maybe, like, she said she would update us, though, so I'll just text her at the end of the week. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That Thursday, I decided to get some answers. And so I texted her on Sunday about my roommate smelling gas again. And so she came right away. And I don't remember if the repairman was supposed to come on Monday or she was going to call him on Monday. Regardless, she never followed back up with us about that. We haven't heard from her since Sunday. And before that, when was the last time you heard from her? It was like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, because back in September was when we first started to smell it. Then there was a couple back and forths throughout the weeks in October, only for her to say that the repairman said that nothing was wrong with the dryer, and then that's why you guys kept using it. So now, earlier this week, we've been smelling gas again, and so I'm on my lunch break at work on that Thursday, and I'm updating my boss on all of the new stuff with the dryer situation. Gun to my head, someone told me to describe my boss. Ultimately, she was a crazy, psycho, racist, psycho person. However, we did develop a really close relationship. We did. We were up in that bank for 8 hours a day, every single day. And it's the bank. It's not like we were working in a rocket science facility. It was fucking boring. The only thing we had to do was sit around and gossip. So, shit. We got close. With everything that I just said that I observed from her character being the hand to God, honest truth about her, not only was she my boss, but I did think of her as a boss as well. I really did. She was in the running to becoming the district manager of the entire San Francisco district of my bank. She didn't even have a bachelor's degree. And she was open about it too. It wasn't like no like sly, like slippery thing. Like, she did not have a bachelor's degree and she made it to the top. Her and I lived in the same neighborhood. I lived in the house with 3 of my friends. We all split the rent. She lived in the same type of house, but she paid all of the rent herself. And my boyfriend, who I literally live with, pays for nothing. What the fuck? Like, you're complaining about him every single day. Why are you even dating him then? He sounds like a bum. It's because I always had this weird fetish for Irish men, and he's Irish and he has an Irish accent, so he just fits perfectly into my fetish. What? I said that it's for 2 reasons. First of all, we're locked in a lease together, so we might as well work things out. Second of all, at my last bank, I was involved in a assault situation, and he was the one who I had secretly on the phone recording the conversation that I was having with my boss, who was sexually harassing me. And so we're in a huge lawsuit, and I do feel like I owe him half of the money from whatever we win from the lawsuit, because he was the one who helped me. So we're staying together until we get the money. I'm gonna give him half, and then we'll never see each other again.
Indian slut.
What? She was lying to you about the whole thing.
What do you mean?
She is not with him because of their lawsuit. She's a fucking slut.
She said that she's a virgin, though.
She has a husband who she has been married to for 5 years, and she has a boyfriend who she lives with, and then she has another boyfriend.
You think she is virgin?
Oh, damn. Well, when you put it like that. But she was telling the truth about the lawsuit stuff and
Oh,
all
yes, that is truth. Very serious lawsuit. It is murmurs around the banking world.
Oh. Then I don't care. Husband, boyfriend, married, 3 boyfriends. I don't give a fuck if her pussy the size of the Caldecott Tunnel. All I'm hearing is that she's a girl boss. Let me go ask her about this dryer situation. Okay, before we even get into what you should say to her, have you lived in an apartment before? Yes, actually. At the time of this story, I was 22, and I had been living in apartments since I was 17. I actually never lived in the dorms. When I went to university, I lived in an apartment my freshman year. So I definitely... you have experience with landlords, and you know how they are, and you know... Yeah. Okay, so... First of all, you have to know that you're not friends with this lady. You know that, right? Yeah, but I do want, like, a good relationship with her, so that it's not, like, an issue whenever I or my roommates happen to, like, have an issue around the house and we want to text her. Like, we want it to go smoothly. Oh, okay. I must have misunderstood this whole thing. Oh, okay. So your dryer got fixed and everything went smoothly. So never mind. You're good. Okay. Well, no. The dryer isn't fixed. We're smelling gas again. Remember? Okay. Then everything's not going smoothly, and she's supposedly called a repairman that you guys never saw any proof of, who said that there was nothing wrong with your dryer, so you kept using it for weeks after, and now you're smelling gas, aka living in a health hazard again. I mean, yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, and she lives there, or yeah, I mean, that she lives downstairs a couple weeks every couple months, but she has like other properties around the country that she goes to. Sometimes we won't see her for a while. Oh, okay, so she can just go to one of her other properties. She doesn't have to live in the health hazard. And her living there with her mom, I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say that's probably not in the lease, is it? No, I actually had no idea that either of them would be living with us until I moved in and started seeing her mom every day. And now that I think of it, our total rent was $4,000, and we split that between the 4 of us while she lived downstairs for free. She paid a little bit of the utilities, though. Okay, nice. So you're paying her mom's rent. No, they go other places. Like, the mom's not always in the meantime, has she, like, offered you guys any type of compensation, or... No, she just told us to stop using the dryer. The dryer that you guys pay to use? Yeah. And you guys pay utilities, too? And water and electric and gas and all that? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, like I said, she's not your friend, and I get, like, you want to be nice, and it'll give you a clear conscience and this illusion that things are going to turn out for the best, but ultimately, what you have to do when you want to be successful at something is you have to put pressure on people. You are the one who's living in the health hazard. You, not her. So I understand that 3 weeks ago, she said that the dryer was not broken and nothing was wrong with it. You guys could continue using it, but once you guys start using it again, again and started smelling gas, the problem starts back up. Especially when it's Thursday now, and she was either supposed to call the repairman or he was supposed to come on Monday, and she never ever contacted you about that. She needs to be giving you constant updates about the health hazard that you are living in. Who's gonna pay for this?
Well, I'm assuming that she is going to, because she also
told me on Sunday that she was just gonna get a new dryer if she can't.
Did she put it in writing?
Well, no, but she also told my other roommate that she was gonna get a new dryer.
Did she put it in writing?
No. I bet she has the part where the repairman said that nothing was wrong with it in writing, though.
Okay, well, lunch is over. We have to open up again.
Text your landlord and tell me if anything crazy happens.
Okay, I texted her and I said,
hey, has there been any progress on the new dryer we spoke about?
and then I said, we pay so much to use them in addition to paying a separate utility bill that getting a new one shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Okay, let me see.
Well,
It is in bad taste to talk about someone else's finances or like tell them what to do with their money because you don't know her, so you don't know how easy or not it is for her to get the new dryer. Like, you don't know.
oh my god, you're right.
But it's okay. I mean, you're only 22, like, you're learning, so now you know not to do that in the future, but ultimately you still don't have any update on the dryer situation. That's your goal here, is to get an update on what's happening with the dryer or to get her to get the new dryer like she said. And experiencing this since September, it's fucking November. Like, you're allowed to have a little bit of sass with her.
So I'm helping a customer and I'm standing there thinking, damn, she did tell me that she was calling the repairman though, and I kind of just disregarded that entire part of the plan and skipped right to the dryer.
So then I texted her again and I said, I know you were also gonna call the repairman to come on Monday, but you never followed up with us about that. That is my intended tone, but I understand that there are multiple factors at play here, like a language barrier, and also it's over text, so tone can't get picked up. I am also a little bit of a sass master, and it is a pattern that I've noticed that there are people who just like don't give me the benefit of the doubt. Like, it always feels like the worst is assumed when it comes to me, which has done so much damage to my self-esteem, because it's like, damn, like, I'm really like not a bad person, but it always feels like everything with me is always like interpreted as something bad, or it's like turned into something bad. I went to high school with one of my roommates who will come back up in this story, and at her high school graduation party, her other bestie was so rude to me. So I was like, okay, we graduated high school, I'll probably never see this girl ever again. I unfollowed her and moved on with my life. Anytime that girl's name came up in conversation, of course I was like, fuck that bitch, I hate that bitch, because she was rude to me, and like, she wasn't really a person to me anymore because we graduated high school, so she was like a character, a meme. One day we're sitting on the couch 5 years later and the roommate goes, oh my god, I'm like scared for her to come over.
Why?
Because you don't like her and I don't want you to like confront her or something.
Confront her about what? Why would I do that? I'd probably just be in my room.
Like what I told you she said. Basically, the other bestie was like,
fine, I'll even hang out with Cameron if I come over.
Oh my god, wait, what is her issue with me? And that was like what she was scared of me confronting her about. I'm like, wait, I don't even know that girl. I haven't seen or thought about her outside of you bringing her up since I was in high school. And it was oftentimes I would get like no protectiveness over me. It was like, why are you not scared of her being mean to me like how she was mean to me the last time I saw her? Or like, why aren't you like scared of her like saying something to me like how you just told me that she said to never me, like, bothered that girl? I was like, what the fuck? Another time, one of her coworkers had said that N-word. Look at this video.
The one who said the N-word even though your best friend's black?
He said that 2 years ago. The video's from 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, and that's who you're about to go on a gym date with?
It's not a gym date. He wants to teach me how to lift. We live together and I have never seen you work out, let alone lifting weights, but that doesn't even matter.
Okay, then you're friends. If that's who you want to hang out with, then period, but
I'm just telling you my opinion because you came up to me and asked me. I don't care about this guy. And I was going with her to a work event and she goes like, I'm scared for you to meet him.
And I'm like, why?
Because because of the N-word thing. What do you think you're gonna say? Like, what? Like, you think I'm gonna confront your random coworker who I don't know at a work event? Like, why is it always like assumed that I have no home training? The onus is always put on me to like let it go and just forget about it. Like, remember the Urban Outfitters story time where the guy saw my videos and said I remind him of the weird kid who had no friends, and then the messy person who ran the tea back to me then tries to like turn it around on me. And she goes like, yeah, but don't confront him because you're gonna ruin our chance at a friend group. And in that case, I only had confronted him. I was like, okay, well, they're trying to force us to be in a friend group together. I might as well work through this with this new friend. So I said, hey, like, you've been talking shit about me. Why? He explained, apologized, we moved on, and I never forgot about it, but we were friends. And I actually was the glue to our friend group. It's so funny because it started with him talking shit about me, then the whole friend group like fell apart, and I was the only one who was still connected to everyone. I ended up moving in with one of them and bringing this girl in to my friend group that I was the glue of. So I bring all that up because a lot of things will come back up revolving around that set of commentary, but also just to tell you guys, like, yeah, it's like, it's usually messy people and they try to turn it around on you so that they don't get caught up for being messy. Like, yeah, that happens to me a lot. And so there's lessons even in that where it's like, okay, let me look at my life. Like, how has this negatively impacted me? Back to this. So I'm looking at my life and I'm seeing that I'm literally the glue of this friend group. I'm a huge part of who brought everyone together. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to own it and let it be interpreted the way that it's interpreted. And if someone has a problem, then they can ask. And I'd be more than glad to clarify. So then the landlord asked, she goes like, what do you mean I never followed up after? And I was like, oh, that's the part that stuck out to her. So I was like, oh, you said you would update us about what he said after he came on Monday. And if he never came on Monday, then she could just clarify that. And then I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm not trying to be confrontational. I just want to know what's going on is all. So I had this really bad habit of assuming that people were going to accept it when I point out reality. I thought she had like forgotten, to be honest, and I thought she was going to be like, oh shit, you're right, I forgot. Like, it's Thursday, he was supposed to come, or maybe I called him on Monday. Like, oh yeah, this is what happened XYZ, and then we were going to just like talk it out. That apparently was not how it was, and she replied and said, I'm gonna send you an email and CC the others because now I'm starting to think you think I don't care. I'm gonna email with documents of time and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's good. That's what you wanted, right? No, I did not want her to make this into a huge deal. Now she's blowing it up in front of all our roommates. What? But it already was a huge deal. You're smelling gas inside of your house. And aren't your roommates the ones who initially smelled it in the first place? Yeah. Okay, so then who cares if she CCs all the roommates? Everyone knows about this. This isn't a huge secret. Let's just get it all out here and let's really talk about it. And that's exactly what she said that she's gonna do. This is good. You wanted answers and you're gonna get them. And she said she's gonna give you evidence? That's amazing. So she actually does care. Well, we don't know that for sure. We'll see whatever she says in her email, but what are you scared she's gonna like evict you or something? Like, I don't know, like could she like punish me? Or like, I thought you said you've done this before. She can't evict you because you complained. You can be a pussy and you can roll over and take whatever is given to you, or you can take life by the balls and you can say, look, bitch, fix the fucking dryer or give us some fucking evidence that you care about it. And that's exactly what she's claiming she's about to do. So you should be happy. Now, please, go. We're at work right now. I'm working so hard right now. The next morning, I hadn't checked my email yet, and I figured I'd go look and see if the landlord replied during my lunch break. But that was when I got a text. It was from one of my roommates, and she was telling me, I fear we have to be more tactful with how we address our landlord from now on. She's talking about raising the price, and even if she's in the wrong, we just have to be more careful. Then I'm like, what? And then she's like, read her email, and I'm like, she replied to the email. So me and my boss sprint over to the computer to read that email, and Hi, Cameron.
This email is to respond to your text request for an update of the broken dryer. As I told you on Sunday when you texted me that you smelled gas, I checked with you immediately. After checking, we found that the gas pipe isn't leaking like the construction guy said, and we learned together that the dryer is not lit up. When the dryer is not lit, it only releases gas, and that is not good at all. I told you guys in person that I was going to call on Monday first thing to ask to reschedule dryer repair, which I did on Monday morning. I tried very hard to ask if they can come sooner, and they said they may come on the 9th from 4 to 6 p.m., but he never showed up. First of all, I never said to you and your roommate on Sunday that I know the repairman will come to fix it on Monday, because no one answered my call on Sunday after 3 p.m. But I did tell you very clearly and twice that it'll be hard to reschedule because I had waited a week for him to come the first time on Saturday. So please don't put words in my mouth. That is not good. Second, I taped the dryer shut so no one can use it. If it's not being used, then no one's in danger. But sometimes it won't light up and it'll still leak gas. But most of the time it will be lit up, and that's why the professional repairman wasn't able to identify the problem the first time. Okay, I don't get that, whatever. Then she starts guilt tripping about how much money she paid for the repairman to fix the dryer that we didn't break that's inside of the property that she's renting to people, which is her only job. Like, okay, of course it costs money to call for a repairman. That's what happens when something is broken on your property that you are renting to people, so that's your job. That's like McDonald's guilt tripping the customers about how much money the burgers cost. Okay, then don't build a business off selling burgers if you can't afford to fix the burger machine. Like, don't rent a house to people if you can't afford to fix the appliances if they break. Like, you gotta factor that into the budget, mama. Fifth, you said you pay so much. Do you mean to say $2 per load on the tiny ass dryer, not to mention $2 per load on the washing machine, and then $2 per the other load that you had to split the what was in the washing machine in half to even fit inside that tiny ass dryer? So that's like $6 for one load of laundry, not to mention all the other shit that's in your laundry basket. Well, I don't think so. This washer and dryer had been there for years, way before inflation. You can't even take a bus ride for $2. You're right, you can take the bus for free. They don't give a fuck in San Francisco. So she was right about that part. I think it's very cheap at $2. Of course you do. All you do is rent properties to people and collect money. So you have no gauge of what a 22-year-old who is working at the bank can afford or not. In fact, I've been thinking about raising the price because the repair bill had increased a lot more too. So she's gonna raise the price of laundry to make up for the repair bill? So basically we're the ones paying for the repairman even though we didn't break the fucking machine? And what about your roommate who texted you? It's like she was blaming you for why the prices of the laundry got increased when in reality she was already planning on doing it. And also, even if she did do it because of you, that's super fucked up of her. And I feel like your best friend should not be automatically pointing the finger at you. I know, right? Bestie goals, but you said you also pay utilities when using. You pay $2 for the machine. These mechanics will cost $2,000 each. Now maybe a lot more. $2 will not help me make back. I'm sure not trying to make money out of the washer and dryer. I place it there for the convenience of everyone, and yet I also pay 20% of all utilities when I don't live there most of the time, but my mom does live downstairs and pays $0 in rent, and I didn't put that inside of you guys' lease. The truth is, I'm trying, and I'm trying really hard and putting on a really good performance. But if we do get a right person to fix it right, we are going to be unsafe. What, girl? So after reading that right now in making this video, and also in the moment after reading that, and my boss felt the same way, that was actually a really good exchange. I was actually really happy about that. It actually feels like a sigh of relief looking back on all this, because I'm like, okay, like what I said wasn't as bad as how I remember it, and what she said wasn't as bad as how I remember it either. That was exactly what I wanted. I wanted to put a little bit of fire under her ass because we'd been smelling gas in our apartment, and I wanted an update on when the repairman was gonna come, or at least what happened on Monday when she was supposedly gonna call him. Well, she said she was trying really hard, so I was like, okay, I'd love to see a receipt or something, but okay, if you're trying, then you're trying. And she gave dates with no proof for receipts or anything like that, but at least she had enough of a fire under her ass to make something up, you know? And as far as her raising the prices of the laundry, I'm not paying for that. I didn't break the machine. I'm not paying for the repair of the machine. And so for me, it was just like,
I'll just go to the laundromat then.
Apparently, my roommate from earlier did not feel that way, and her first instinct after reading the email was to point the finger at me as if I'm the reason why all of this is happening. Bestie goals. I mean, she'd have a point if I was who broke the dryer and then popped it on the bitch who owned the dryer disrespectfully, but that's just absolutely not what happened, so I was confused. Eventually, I got somewhat of an apology for the way she came off to me, but then she just continued to blame me for this thing that I didn't cause. All this talked about tactlessness, defensiveness, being accusatory is really funny to me.
Because months later, she ended up getting in a fight with the landlord in the same way that I did, where she expressed her concerns to the lady, and then the lady put her on blast, CC'd us all, and they were going back and forth with paragraphs. So, am I meant to believe that this is because I tainted you guys' relationship with my text message that was sent privately to the landlord that didn't include your name in it at all? Or were you being tactless? Were you being accusatory and defensive towards our sweet landlord, causing her to have to go off on you?
Eventually, after rereading the conversation, I caught on to the fact that this was someone who was having an anxiety attack. And while I'm happy that I'm a good enough friend to where you feel comfortable enough to vent to when you're anxious about something, I also don't want you to vent to me if it's about me, especially if you're dead wrong and nothing happened to you. So that was when I put my phone down and just moved on with my day.
You deserve to be around people who don't just turn on you at the first sign of heat or pressure from the opposition.
I know, I do. And what's ironic about all this is last night it was yes, queen, yes, 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 slay. And then now the landlord's mad. Now all of a sudden I'm accusatory and tactless.
Now, I will say,
we already talked about this. That second text you sent was a little iffy on like assuming whatever she's doing with her money.
I agree. It's cringe. Whatever. It's true, though. It's true. It's what we were all thinking. Like,
I know, but your friend in that text is acting like you just like came out and accused her of something, and like since the landlord CC'd all of your roommates, I think your friend is like upset because she feels like you're like speaking for her in a way or something.
Yeah, I get that, and I got that the entire time. I disagree. That's why I didn't apologize for what I said, nor did I apologize for the result of what I said, because I don't think it mattered either way. And as the story went in real life, it didn't matter, because Miss Nice, Miss Tactful got yelled at too by the landlord. Like, I just think the landlord's a bitch. But I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I was mainly just saying like, well, look.
Every single day it's complaining about
the fucking laundry is
really
so expensive. I don't
like,
have enough
the
for
quarters
and
and
utilities.
Oh my god, the walls
so
are already
paying
washing machine,
so you have to do a whole new
fit,
load.
like, half.
Yeah, it's like a waste
Yes,
of quarters.
it feels like we're just
So then one day the dryer that we've been actively paying to use breaks and starts leaking gas. So my roommate emails the landlord. The landlord replies, gets a repairman to check it out, and then tells us that nothing's wrong and we can continue using it, only for us to find out that not only is the dryer still broken and still leaking gas, but it's doing so even when the dryer isn't on. So when my roommate smells it while I'm doing my laundry and asks me to text the landlord about it, like, yeah, when I'm getting an update, I'm gonna slide something in there. Like, yeah, we pay so much to use this thing and it's really irritating that it didn't get fixed the first time. Because due to the fact that it didn't get fixed the first time, we are still smelling gas inside of our apartment. I actually think that my email was incredibly tactful because it actually got us some fucking answers.
And didn't your roommate say something like early? She said like something about like my email.
Oh yeah, I didn't even show this, but she was like, she didn't get mad at my email. And it's like, well, yeah, and after your email, nothing got fixed. And instead of calling me tactless, defensive, accusatory, what you should be doing is thanking me. If I didn't provoke her with my text, what she was gonna do, her dumb ass told us her moves before she did them. What she was gonna do was just passively raise them under the surface. She was gonna do it behind our back. And then what would have happened? Then would you have found a way to blame me for it or what? You're welcome for exposing the truth. I put myself out there and I actually like say what I mean. Like the things that I say have like substance behind them. I'm not trying to like dance around the point or be a people pleaser. So with that being said, I am usually always the first person to interact with the world and I see the truth first. After all of that was done and over with, the landlord had asked me to respond to her email, so I sat down at my computer, cracked my knuckles, and I said, "Hi, you psycho bitch. This morning at 4 a.m. you requested that I respond to your email, so here I am." To be honest, I don't really know what you want me to say. My text messages to you were simply just asking for an update on the dryer situation, as I am concerned about the fact that we have smelled gas inside of our house on multiple occasions. Never did I say you didn't care. Ever. It's actually you who put words in my mouth. I also never said we spoke on the phone. That was my roommate who said that in her emails. So now your dumbass is getting me and my roommate confused. So if we want to circle back to this text message that my roommate tried to throw in my face, the reason why she was mad about my email because she thought it was your annoying ass spamming her. Lastly, I never accused you of making a profit off of the machines. That's an element that you brought into the conversation. I mentioned us paying for the machines in my original text message to you because we do pay for them. I was stating a fact. Maybe $2 per load doesn't seem like a lot to you and your lazy ass who just goes around to Utah and Oregon and my property here. But for me, it adds up. If it didn't add up, I wouldn't be living in this shithole for $1,000 a month. I'd be living in a mansion. Hello? My bed fucking fell through the floor. Like, you think I'm here because this is vacation for me? Like, no, the $2 per load adds up to me because I was broke. Like, I needed to be there. So, yeah. My suggestion was that maybe some of that money could go towards finding a solution to this problem because it's been 900 years and it's like after all these fake repairman, construction man, why are you calling a construction man for the dryer? After all this, it's like, damn, bitch. Fucking you, at least do something. Like, I'm just giving you a suggestion, your stupid ass. That's all. Not sure what spawned all this aggressiveness from your email, because you have to say that. You can't let people put that onto you. You have to call them out for being aggressive. It's very easy for people to put that label on me, call me accusatory, call me defensive, call me aggressive, saying all these things because I stand up for myself. So you kind of have to beat other people to the punch. I missed that opportunity with my roommate, and so I took that opportunity with this bitch. Oh, let me call you aggressive before you do that to me. I apologize for assuming that getting a new dryer wouldn't be an issue for you. I guess I just assumed it wouldn't. However, it is not our responsibility as tenants to pay for it. And then I quoted her and I said, we didn't break it. If that's the case, I just simply will not use the washer and dryer in our unit. I don't like being made to feel responsible for a problem that I didn't cause. So if we want to circle back to this other text that my annoying roommate sent to me, what you should be doing is saying, thank you, Cameron, because me, quote unquote, speaking for all of us made it so that he never ended up raising the prices of the laundry because I declared that we're not going to be using them. So she figured I'm not going to make any money if I raise the prices. So let me just keep it the way it is and not disrupt my money flow. Thank you, Cameron, is something that never, ever got uttered. But I'm always more than happy to clarify the intentions behind what I say, as I know you're a stupid ass bitch and you also are ESL, and so things can get misinterpreted through text. Obviously, I'm just worried and upset about the whole situation. It's not crazy for me to expect you, our landlord, to do something about it. If I can't go to you to solve the problem, then who am I supposed to go to? We are adults. I wasn't blaming you for the problem. It's nobody's fault. We don't know who broke the fucking dryer. We don't know how it got broken. But as I told you in my text messages, I wasn't trying to be confrontational or accuse you of anything. I just wanted an update. Why couldn't we have had this conversation there in private the same way that I addressed you? I'd rather not do this back and forth any longer. It's getting messy. I'm more than happy to talk with you one-on-one over the phone or in person to resolve or clarify anything else. Again, I don't know what you want me to say. All I'm after here is an update on the dryer. English was not my landlord's first language, so when she saw my email, what she read was... All I'm after here is to argue semantics! Yeah! So her bitch ass went over to her bitch ass Gmail app and typed an email where she took apart each sentence that I wrote and made a response to each sentence. I'm not going to torture you and comb through every detail. I'm triggered enough to where I really could, but ultimately this wasn't even supposed to be the point of the video. This is all still backstory. 40 minutes on backstory. All you guys need to know is she lied a bunch, backtracked, put words in my mouth more, and then ended up apologizing for making this entire thing a bigger deal than it needed to be. Which was ironic to me because she made it a really big deal. Then she saw my response, then made it an even bigger deal, and then apologized at the end of the second bigger deal that she made it for making it a big deal. I did not answer her email. When I said at the end of my thing that I was glad to talk to her on the phone, that was under the we would talk on the phone after my email, and then like we could like figure things out as like adults there. But after seeing her comb through each sentence of my email, like I'm like, you're an immature psycho person and you need to just fix your fucking dryer so I can wash my clothes and dry them, not have to put them on a rack in the living room to air dry. Okay, bitch. This year was the year of learning that apologies mean nothing. I stopped expecting apologies from people after this. Too many times did people apologize for their behavior only to do the exact same thing over and over and over again. Because if anyone who I've talked about in this video was really sorry about what they did and how they acted, then wouldn't the video be over right now? Eventually the dryer was fixed and that was the end of that situation. And what happened with that one roommate who was pointing the finger at you? Oh, when I tried to have a conversation about how all of this made me feel, she gaslit me 10 seconds after. I ended up just letting it go. I mean, seriously, my dad had just died a month before all of this. I was fighting with my landlord, then my best friend is pointing the finger at me. It's like, okay, bitch, you know, like some things I just have to let go. I completely understand, and I guess she did somewhat apologize to you, so as long as there's not another situation in this video where she does the exact same thing, then I guess everything's fine, right? Exactly. And plus, like, after that, the conversation did shift towards the landlord being the bad guy again, so I was like, okay, it seems like you have changed your mind and we can just move forward. It was the week before my birthday and I was sitting on the couch with my roommate. Oh my god, also, I wanted to talk to you about this. Okay, so I was thinking that for my birthday, and that was when my other roommate walked in with a package. Wait, sorry, continue? Oh, I was just saying, like, for my birthday this weekend, I was thinking maybe we could, like, go out to the club, or, like, maybe we could go, like, get dinner or something. I just want to, like, celebrate my birthday this weekend, because my birthday is, like, next week in the middle of the week, so, like, it would just be easier to, like, celebrate it on the weekend. That was when they both instantly looked at each other. I was like, what? That's the day that we're going to this event that we were all supposed to go to together, that me and her got matching costumes for without you. I sat there frozen, and then I watched as they unboxed their matching costumes right in front of me. They had just met each other 3 months prior when we all moved in together. How it went was, me and her were part of this friend group. When that friend group fell apart, like I told you, I stayed friends with everyone individually. And so me and her ended up moving in together. That was when I brought her in and she brought her in. She was always with her boyfriend, so we never really saw her. She practically didn't even live with us. It wasn't until a week after Thanksgiving that these two became bestie all of a sudden. I didn't really care that much because I just don't give a fuck. Like, where it became an issue for me was when they were going to that event that we were all four supposed to go to together and had been planning since we moved in together without me and her. Everything will be revealed in due time, but it felt like some weird shit was
going on? Because we had been talking about this for months and months and months, and all of a sudden y'all are going without us, and you have matching outfits. Like, damn, what did I do? I'm like, I know I was in a whole fight with the landlord, but it wasn't that bad to where now you don't want to fuck with me no more. The unfortunate coincidence was that it was also on the day that I wanted to celebrate my birthday.
I know, I was in the other room. I heard that entire thing. That's so fucked up. They really just uninvited us, like, on the low.
I know, that is fucked up. I don't particularly care about the event. I didn't really want to go anyway, but I'm more upset about the fact that it is on my birthday, and I'm upset about, like, the principle of uninviting us behind our back. Like, I thought we were friends. Why can't we just talk about it?
Are you gonna say something?
Well, it seems to be a pattern with you people that you keep painting me out to be this person who I'm not every time I say something about anything. So I don't know, like, I don't want to get gaslit and have these bitches play in my face only to be humiliated about expressing that I'm sad that they're not going to my birthday, and then these bitches just gaslight me, and then I get called fucking accusatory and tactless. So
what? I would never let them gaslight you.
Yes, you would. You gaslight me. I can't think of a single time when we've been in a situation where someone else, where you've even had my back at all, actually. And the few things that I've listed in this video weren't even face to face. So it's like, if I can't even trust you to have my back behind someone else's back, then how the fuck am I supposed to trust you to have my back face to face with these bitches?
Stop. This is different. I'm definitely a people pleaser in certain situations.
In every situation. And no one ever ends up pleased by your behavior, so we need to come up with a different phrase.
Okay, no, I would never just sit there and let them just, like, gaslight you, like, to your face. Like, that's crazy. Like, no. I'm never gonna let someone do that to my best friend.
Plus, they uninvited me too. Like, I'm getting fucked over here too. So when they come back from getting boba and I bring up to them how it is hurting my feelings that they did this behind our back, and I would like for them as my friends to, like, find some way to celebrate my birthday with me, you will have my back about it and support me?
Yes.
Like, I need you to really have my back, like, because this is, like, gonna make me really anxious. And so, like, if I trip up, or, like, if I miss something, or if, you know, I need you to, like, fill in the spaces and really, like, be a good best friend. And she looked me in the eye and told me that she was gonna do that, and so I trusted her against my better judgment. But I figured that in the landlord situation, she totally switched on me immediately, and switched on me with the other best friend, with the boy who said the N-word, who she went on the lifting date with. Completely just never has my back. But with the landlord situation, she had also emailed the landlord, and they had, like, their own little back and forth. Then if I can't trust her to have my back, then I should be able to trust her to at least have enough of a backbone to have her own back, because she was also getting uninvited too, and she was more upset about that than I was. Like, I was upset about my birthday. Like, I don't give a fuck about no event, like, cost. I don't care about that. I'm talking about my birthday. Like, I also took it very much to heart, getting called tactless and accusatory and defensive and all that, plus the landlord blowing up at me. I started to feel like every time I tried to bring something up to bring clarity or, like, fix a situation, it would always go wrong. So I was, like, really happy that I had Miss Nice, Miss Tactful, Miss People Pleaser with me, because that would mean, at the very least, if I, like, misstepped or said something, like, she could come behind me and smooth it over, say something, you know? So I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good situation, and I was actually excited to bring it up to them, because I felt like I was gonna be supported by my friend. I also felt valid. I felt like I'm not crazy for just telling my friends that I'm sad that they're going to this thing on my birthday, and I want them to find a way to celebrate my birthday with me otherwise. And I also was upset about being uninvited behind my back. It's very embarrassing, especially in this day and age where everyone is so apathetic and mean about things, to open up to someone about how they hurt you, because people do things like gaslight you, play in your face, call you names that completely don't describe your character. So I figured that if it didn't go well, at least I would have her. Like, that was my best friend. Honestly, after
reviewing everything that I've talked about in this video, I guess I was naive to believe that it was me and her till the end. Like, I was gonna ride with her till the end. I introduced her to all my friends. If I lost those two, then fuck it. If it was embarrassing, who gives a fuck? Because at least I have my friend, and we were gonna ride together because we were a duo. So I was like, all right, I guess I don't actually lose anything either way from having this conversation, so let's do this. Our roommates come back from getting boba and we're all in the kitchen. So what are you guys doing this weekend? Because that was when we were gonna celebrate Cameron's birthday. Oh, we're going to that event that me and her got matching costumes for behind you guys' back, basically uninviting you guys to. What are you doing right now? Oh, I'm trying to take this zipper off these pants so I can put it over my mouth for the entire rest of this conversation. I swear we were all supposed to go to that together, so it was just so shocking like an hour ago when I saw you guys unboxing your matching costumes, because I was like, damn, wait, we were all supposed to go. What? No, this was a super last minute thing. She just texted me like 4 days ago about it, like it was really last minute. Well, that's not true, because the only reason I know about it is because you've been bringing it up for the past 3 or 4 months that we've been living together and we were all talking about going together. So do you see how this is like weird, kind of like, because we did talk about this, like we were all supposed to go together, so you're like lying right now. What? No, I'm not. You guys are free to come to the bar too. It's an open thing, like it's like public, like anyone can go. You guys can go if you want. Okay, well, I'm not gonna go because that's the day that I wanted to celebrate my birthday, and even if I did want to go, you guys obviously got matching costumes without us, so you don't even want us to go with you anyway, so what's the point? That's when the conversation should have ended, but this is real life, so not everything's gonna be perfect, and that is not when the conversation ended. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. And like, honestly, you don't even seem like you're into the same things as us anyway. Like, yeah, like whenever we like do things, like it just seems like you like don't even like aren't into it. Like you don't even want to be there. In the moment, all I wanted to hear was, damn, yeah, this is an unfortunate coincidence. Let's just go and get dinner for your birthday another time. But since it's 3 years later and I've had so much time to reflect on this shit, I'm so detached from it that I can have a more objective view on things. They were pretty much right about that, to be honest with you. My social life has always been a very unique case study where I've been used to people saying things about me, positive and negative, pretty much all my life, but especially since the beginning of my teen years, just being popular online for so long and being popular in school, being gay, being black, playing sports while being gay, being the only black kid in a lot of my social circles that I've been in. Like, it's like there's so many times where I've been different or put myself out there, and it draws lots of positive and negative attention. That's actually a huge running commentary on my channel, is how a lot of people come to a lot of different conclusions about me, and then they realize once they get to know me that they were actually completely wrong about me. My last video, I was telling you guys about how a couple coworkers who I've had have done things like calling me a monkey, saying that I remind them of the weird kid in class, only to end up falling in love with me in the end and trying to date me or hook up with me. Even in my comments section, 99.9% of you guys are literally so thoughtful and gracious and just awesome, but there are a lot of people in my comments that you guys don't see because I usually end up just deleting it or blocking them, but they'll say stuff like, oh, you're the problem, because I'm so open about, like, you know, social dynamics that I've been through in my life, not knowing that the very people who I talk about in my videos have mostly all come crawling back trying to be my friend again, because it's stuff that I'm used to. I'm used to people coming to conclusions about me, and I have grown comfortable with the fact that you guys don't know me and you never actually will, and so you're not gonna know the full story of my life. And if I tell a story about me falling out with somebody, I don't feel like I have to tell you that that person has tried to crawl back into my life trying to be my friend again for anything that I say in the story to be valid. And so sometimes I don't say that part because I don't really need to. I think I'm valid without having to give context outside of the specific story that I'm talking about. So from the beginning, my roommates were always super complimentary towards me. Damn, you just started talking to that guy randomly? Oh yeah, we were at the park one day and there was this guy playing GameCube in the middle of the fucking park. I had to go up and talk to him about it. It's an attention grabber. Wow, that's crazy. You're always like going up to random people and like talking to them. I feel like you can like talk to anybody. And she was right, somewhat. I am pretty confident. I feel like I'm cute and I dress nice and I have a nice tone to my voice. So I think that I will always be received well if I go up to someone and talk to them about something. But I'm actually a really shy person and I tend to use my friends as a collateral. And so to me, if I'm with my friends, because to know me is really to love me, and my friends love me so much that I don't really care how I'm received, if it's embarrassing or if someone acts like I'm weird for like randomly saying something to them or like randomly talking to them. I don't really give a fuck because I have my friends to fall back on, and then I'll just like go and hang out with my friends. On the day-to-day, I'm actually a very shy and quiet and introverted person. Thrifting is another weird example that came up a lot that year. Yeah, I'm not really into thrifting, to be honest. Like, I've found that I'm a pretty intentional shopper, so I usually just go and get exactly what I'm looking for. I don't really like to browse and like peruse around, so I'm not really into thrifting. And then I remember the roommate who I knew since high school would always like argue with me about that, and she'd be like, that is not true. You literally are into thrifting. Like, you used to make thrifting videos all the time and like you always go thrifting. Like, what are you talking about? And it was like, okay, like maybe I had a thrifting era for a couple months when I was 19 years old, but I'm just trying to tell you right now I'm not into thrifting. Like, I grew up, I realized that's not what I'm into. I'm just trying to tell you about myself, and you're trying to force me into this box of who you think I am, and it's gonna lead to some complications down the line. But yeah, let's go thrifting. Yes. San Francisco thrifting. And I would go because we were freshly roommates and I wanted to get to know all of them, and so I wanted to go and hang out with my friends. But apparently it was clear to everyone that I was very unentertained and looked like I didn't want to be there. And it was like, well, I did try to tell you guys about myself, but no one was listening. Because when you're gay, people have this idea about you, especially me, because I have like this gay voice and I be like twerking, I'm like a fun time and I'm like charismatic. They like, think that I'm gonna fit into this like gay BFF stereotype when that is actually just like not the case. I mean, even you guys, and I don't get upset about this at all, I don't care, I think it's kind of cute, but you guys even sometimes will come and you'll be like, hey queen, or you'll be like mother, like whatever, and I'll just like reply and I'll be like, hey, like and like I know the lingo, so I can be like, yes, clock it, queen, like, yes, sister, but I'm not really like that at all. Like, I'm actually just like a normal dude. I'm very simple. I like simple things. I like to work out and play League of Legends and draw. And even my drawings, they're not like, yes, queen, slay, sister, cutesy. They're dark and bloody and sad and brawling. Cause like, that's the type of shit I'm into. Like, I'm not really into girly shit. Like, people think cause they see me in a crop top like, oh, guy wearing girl clothes. And it's like, well, no, my muscles just look good in the crop top. Like, it hugs my body real nice. And I have these abs, might as well show them off. Like, you know, like, it's like, it takes an apparent Olympic level of mental gymnastics to see a gay person as a dude. So naturally, you start to internalize that because pretty much everyone is still very homophobic, even other gay people, which is the problem because gay people don't be putting it in check. They even try to put it in check around a gay person, then they tell you that, oh my god, well, I'm gay, I can say it. And it's like, okay, well, you're part of the problem too. And so then it's like, okay, no one considers me to be a dude, apparently, and I feel crazy when I walk up to my friends and try to tell them about myself or like talk about my experience as a guy, and they just look at me like I'm crazy or like I'm delusional or something. Like I said, I internalized it too, so I didn't even really have all this in perspective. Again, this is like me as a now 26-year-old talking. I was 22 at the time. I was still growing up and still learning about myself. So I remember going up to my roommates during Halloween that year and I was by the way, like, I'm so sorry if I seem like I have like an attitude sometimes or something. My dad died, as you guys know, and I literally have just been going through so much in my private life that like sometimes it's just like hard to like, you know. And they looked at me like I was speaking Chinese or something. They were like, what? And I was being genuine, but really that wasn't what it was either, because I was charismatic Cammy around all my other friends. So it was like really just them who I didn't really have anything in common with and get along with. But I just didn't really get it. And around Halloween, it had only been a month since my dad passed, and so I was turning a blind eye to the reality of the situation. As a symptom of my grief at the time, I was really trying to hold on to everyone who I was connected with at the time. I didn't want to lose another person. I was holding on to a connection that never was really there, in an attempt to not lose my friends in a time when I was grieving. And the writing on the wall was basically like, look, we know you're grieving. I'm so sorry about your father, but we low-key just met you and we're not invested enough in you to overlook any type of attitude or give that much of a fuck to like put up with that. Sorry. They had made up their mind, and no matter what, the result was gonna be the same. This conversation was pointless. I think that this is a really good conversation for us to have right now, because honestly, we don't all have to hang out as roommates every single time. True. I was like, wait, what are you doing? Because I started to notice I was being double teamed a little bit, because it was like everything I would say would be like fire one shot, then this one, well actually blah 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 blah, and then I'm like, okay, well what about this? No, because blah 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 blah. You would have thought they didn't just meet each other 3 months ago. The way they were covering each other's bases whole time. Someone who I called my best friend since I was 14 is sitting there like a dingbat saying nothing. To them, it's just me talking, and I'm just talking and expressing what I've been saying, and then this one's sitting here as if she's just a bystander, as if I just randomly started doing this and she just happened to be in the kitchen, and oh wow, this sudden confrontation that's happening. I wonder what's going on. Like, she's just sitting there like saying nothing. And then she goes and co-signs the other bitches. I don't care if that bitch is speaking facts with surgical precision. You don't co-sign the other bitches when you're supposed to be supporting your best friend. The only reason he's even fucking talking to those bitches is because you told me that you were gonna have my back. I would never have gone into a 2v1 knowing that she was just gonna sit there and let me fall on the knife. What was sickening and disgusting and just pitiful about the whole situation was how much shit she talked about them behind their back. She hated those bitches. I hated them in context. They were homophobic and just really ignorant. She hated them just randomly, and I'm about to get into that later, but a couple more stuff happened before. What's disgusting to me is how she can talk so much shit about these bitches, hype me up like she's gonna have my back, yeah, and I can't believe they're fucking us over. They're fucking her over too. They didn't even fucking like her. She's just letting me sit there and act like I'm just randomly confronting him. It's just sick. It's really sick. And it's the same thing as the what happened with the landlord. Just randomly acting like I'm just randomly coming up with something. It was accusatory and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, as if that's not exactly what we were all thinking. Like, what did I accuse her of? I didn't accuse her of nothing. I said exactly what the case was. But anytime we're in front of the opposition, anytime there's any type of heat, she disappears, and it's the other person, the other side. It's like really sick. It's really disgusting. And then to insert yourself unnecessarily is also the other sick part, just like with the other best friend earlier in the video with the N-word guy lifting. Every single time she inserted herself, randomly told me that her other best friend was talking shit. The N-word guy randomly showed me this TikTok of him saying the N-word. And then with this situation with the roommates, I wasn't going to confront them. I knew exactly what was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna get gaslit, and I knew she wasn't gonna have my back. And that's exactly what happened. I was never going to confront them, but she's like, no, I'm definitely going to have your back, and then like didn't. And it's like, oh, wow, you're like not my friend for real. If this is how she treats her best friend, then I'd actually love to be her enemy, because her enemies are standing right in front of her and she's cheesing like it's picture day at school. You know what though? What? I felt left out like this? No.
when you guys hung out without me on Thanksgiving. And there it was, the real reason why they were icing me out. I got a super last minute text from my friend a couple days before Thanksgiving. Hey, I'm going back home to LA for Thanksgiving, and since we've been friends for the past year, I want to go out to dinner with you before I leave for like the next 2 weeks. Are you down? I know it's super last minute.
Yeah, I'm down. This was a guy from the Urban Outfitters story time who was talking hella shit about me at work, but then I confronted him and then he apologized and then we just became friends and we eventually quit the job. The friend group fell apart, but I stayed friends with everyone individually from that friend group. This was my friend. So when he texted me to hang out and get dinner before Thanksgiving, I was like, yeah, sure, I'm down. Before I had ever moved in with these girls who I was living with, I used to always bring her out with me and him, and we would hang out, just us three, and we would go out, and it was like a fun time. He texts me and says that he's bringing one of his friends, and so he was like, hey, you can bring blah 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 with the green shirt on top of her head if you want to also. And so I was like, okay, period. So then I go to the girl with the green shirt and I'm like, hey, he wants to go get dinner, like sushi or something. Are you down?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, period. Let's get ready. So we're getting ready really quickly, and in the kitchen is our other roommate. She's sitting there and she has wet hair. She's in like this really like kind of see-through bedtime wear, and she's wearing these tiny little shorts. And we had come to this agreement that we would always let each other know whenever we're having company over, because these two used to get super pressed about this one bringing her boyfriend over. And so I texted in the chat and I was like, can we just let each other know? Because they were just gonna talk about it behind her back for ages, and of course I'm the only one who knows how to use my voice. So even though I didn't even really give a fuck about that one bringing her boyfriend or not, I didn't really care. But they're girls and they didn't want like this man like seeing them, whatever, and I'm gay, so like I don't really care about seeing their tits out or whatever. So I was like, whatever. And this is kind of like a callback to what I was talking about earlier. Like, I'm not a girl, no offense, I love the girlies so much. Y'all love to complain and not actually like go up to the person's face.
Her walked while I was going to the bathroom. He walked toward the corner.
But they were very uncomfortable with him catching them in an intimate moment. I'm like, let me honor this agreement that we made. I see my roommate, she's sitting there half naked, just got out of the shower, so I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, by the way, my friend is coming over really last minute. He's just gonna come up for like 3 seconds. I know I didn't tell you about this before, but he's gonna come up and like, I just wanted to let you know just in case. So then the one with the green from the other room, she co-signs. She goes like, yeah, he's just coming up for a couple minutes. Sorry we didn't let you know before, or something like that.
Okay.
And she's just glaring at me as she's walking by. I was like, what the fuck? So then the other roommate opens the door for my friend who was coming up, and she walks by the door and she goes like, hi, blah, 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 says his name, and then just goes into her room. And I remember when all of this was said and done, I was telling my boss about it, and she was like, yeah, the green hair ruins everything. And I was like, what do you mean? Because that was my friend. Like, I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see the negative in my friend, so I was like, what? Which is probably why shit like this kept happening, because I was giving her the benefit of the doubt every single time. And my boss was like, yeah, it just seems like every time you tell me a story with her involved in it, she like makes everything worse. Like, seems like she gets in your ear and she like lights a fire under your ass, and you're the type to like really handle business, and she's not. So she'll leave you in the dust and throw you under the bus to deal with the consequences of the fire that she started. And I was like, whoa. Like, my boss really did not like that character, and any time I told her a story about my roommate, she hated her. She was like, I fucking hate girls like that. I just feel like your one roommate felt like you guys were hanging out without her, and the green hair character from the other room saying that just made it worse, because it was like you both were in on it and had planned it beforehand. And I was like, wow. I actually kind of disagree that like the green hair made that particular situation worse. That's crazy. Like, I was scared in letting her know that it was super last minute, because I thought she was gonna be mad about me going against the agreement to letting the roommates know whenever we're having company over, and I didn't tell her until 3 seconds before he was coming up. So I thought she was gonna be mad about that, and she thought that we were hanging out without her. Oh my god. So then after Thanksgiving and before the birthday situation, me and the green hair were talking about it all the time. Damn, and that's probably why they went to that party last week and didn't tell us about it. Yeah, she was fucking pissed. That's crazy. That's crazy that she would just like go behind our back and just like not say anything. But I guess she didn't email the landlord about the gas situation when you had asked her about it, which had happened right before the Thanksgiving situation. She probably thought we were mad about that or something, which was super fucked up because the landlord had just totally unfairly put me on blast in front of everyone. So I was just asking you guys, my roommates, to stand up for me and like just tell her that you guys are worried about the gas situation too, in solidarity with me, so that it doesn't just seem like I'm coming up with this issue. That part especially irritated me because if you remember earlier, she was the one who smelled it and she was the one who asked me to fucking text the landlord in the first place. No, can you do it? I'm scared. I'm scared of her. So it was like, you're the one who, I did this for you and you can't even text her for me? Like, what the fuck, bitch? Anyway, the other roommate ended up, like talking to the landlord on the phone, and it was like, she was really nice actually, and it was really cute. So I had ended up letting that situation go. And so she thought we were retaliating against her, like punishing her or something for not standing up to the landlord. And so she thought we were hanging out without her during Thanksgiving. And so she went to this party without us and with the other roommate. You see how fucked things get when you're too wrapped up in your ego to communicate? Instead of just letting me know maybe the next day or something about how the Thanksgiving situation made her feel, she looked at me like I was crazy, said nothing, and then all of a sudden I was iced out of all these plans that we were supposed to go do together. And it was like, I know we don't really vibe particularly, but that's crazy to just disconnect as friends completely. Like, it's not like we had any type of actual falling out. It was just they realized that I'm not into the same types of things that they were into, but that doesn't mean you can't celebrate my birthday with me. That's crazy. That was crazy. Like, we could still be cool, like, and just hang out every once in a while, but now that they went behind my back and did all this weird shit, like, I can't be cool with them. I can't smile in their face, and I'm about to get into a whole nother thing after this. And the whole situation was fucked because she went behind our back and got her on her side, and then when I walked up to them and asked them about my birthday, they said the exact same thing that I said to her during the Thanksgiving thing. Oh, it was super last minute. We didn't know. And it's like, why are you doing this snake shit? Like, I'm not like that. These were all sorority girls, by the way. So that's what they do. They do shit like being tactful and strategizing and like trying to do. I'm the type where I'm just gonna like try to solve my problems instead of getting revenge or like giving that same energy. Like, I don't do shit like that. It hurts my feelings that you're not going to my birthday. Why? Oh, the dryer is broken. Hey, can I get an update on that? Like, I'm not gonna play these games. Like, I'm not like that. And I seem to have got caught up with a bunch of people who are like that. And I lose every single time because I don't know how to do all that. I'm not a snaky type of fake person. That's why it was so important for green hair to stand up for me and have my back when she inserted that she wasn't gonna let them gaslight me, because we knew exactly what they were doing. And it was a pattern. People seem to have this misconception about me, and they act like I'm crazy whenever I just go straight up to the person and address whatever the fucking problem is straight up. They act like, oh my god, like they act like crazy. So that was why it was good for Miss Strategizer, fake, nice, tactful, to be there to like help me. So back to the birthday situation, when we're talking about them going to that event without us and not going to my birthday, I'm sitting there and I'm wondering what green hair is doing, because she's really smiling in these people's face as if she wasn't just hyping me up behind the scenes, like she was gonna address what she had to say. So I was like, okay, let me bring her into it. So that party you guys went to last week, yeah, why didn't you guys invite me to that? Just wondering, sorry. Oh, well, last week you had COVID, so we couldn't invite you. Yeah, you had COVID. Okay, yeah. All right, well then, why didn't you guys invite her? Oh my god, we didn't even know you were home. Oh, we had no idea. Oh my god, we had no idea you were home. They knew she was home. We were all broke at the time, and we would all complain about the electric bill. And every time she was home, she would have these red lights on. It would be blasting through under her door. You could see it plain as day. No one who wasn't home had their lights on, because every single bitch up in there would have been complaining about the utilities bill. They knew she was home, and they didn't invite her once I was out of the picture. So a smart person would have picked up on that and been like, my friend who brought me into this friend group is getting iced out, which means that the only reason that they were even hanging out with me in the first fucking place was because he brought me around. So that means they don't like me when he's not in the picture, so they're fucking me over too. Otherwise, if they actually fucked with me, then once he was out of the picture, they would have invited me places or acknowledged my existence in the slightest after he was out of the picture. Oh my god. They didn't fucking like her. They liked me. But I liked her more than I liked them. So anytime we would go out, she was going too. Like everywhere I went, she was going, period. Because that was my bestie. Like, I'm actually a loyal friend. So I was like, period, I'm bringing my bestie everywhere. Shame on me for thinking my good deeds wouldn't go unpunished. But they didn't like her very early on. We would be in the kitchen. She would be talking about just a whole bunch of mess. She was always getting a mess. And she would be talking about some mess that she was doing with her coworkers. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And they would just be looking at her like she was crazy. And one time, one of them even got up and walked out of the room. And I would go up to her in private and I'd be like, hey, bestie, like, they were looking at you real crazy back there. And she'd be like, I know. And it's like, no, it's not funny or charming. They literally were looking at you like you were crazy, and what you were saying is crazy too. You shouldn't be, that's not like stuff that you should be bragging about. It's okay to do it to me because I love you and I'm gonna accept you regardless, but they just met you. They not gonna fuck with you after that. Oh my god. And they would compliment me constantly. Like earlier when I told you guys how they were saying, oh, you can always talk to like anyone. Like they would always say stuff like that about me. And then she would like latch herself onto that and be like, oh my god, they said that we can like talk to anyone. Like they love our energy. Well, they said me, but yeah. Well, I was part of the conversation too. Okay, but they said me, they said Cameron, so. But it's okay, you can latch yourself onto it if you want to, but don't be surprised when the truth comes out eventually, and you'll see. And even after we fell out on my birthday, this one brought her friend from back home over, and while we were sitting on the couch, that random friend from back home was like, oh my god, I heard so many good things about you. Like, she said, oh my god, Cameron is so funny, like, he dresses so nice. Please, not the hole in your shirt. Oh yeah, I do have a hole in my shirt. Last year, me and my ex were like laying in bed. Oh my god, no way. And I was trying to take off my shirt and I fucking poked a hole in it by accident. That's why the gay best friend thing doesn't really work, because I'm always gonna be the star. Always. I'll never be a sidekick or a side character ever, no matter what. And we'd be talking and we were like, damn, did she even tell her best friend from back home what happened with us? Like, even after we fell out with them, she was like, oh my god, I heard so many good things about you guys. And I'm like thinking like, well, first of all, you didn't fall out with anyone, so it wasn't us. I fell out with them because you sat there and said nothing. Second of all, she said that about me. She said that I dressed so nice and she heard so many good things about me. She didn't acknowledge you at all. But she didn't want to acknowledge that because the truth does hurt. It is painful. Like, oh wow, they only really cared about me because of him. Like, that sucks to realize, but that is the truth of the matter. And so after the whole birthday fallout situation happened, I tried to fake it. I tried to be nice, and whenever I would see them when we were in the common areas, I would be like, hi. But then this one with the red hair would be like standoffish and kind of rude. She'd be like, hi. And I was like, that's crazy, because you would think that I did something to her. Like, you're the one who didn't go to my birthday or celebrate my birthday with me afterwards. You had me fucked up. Why are you acting rude towards me? So then I went to my supposed best friend for some support. She's been acting like really standoffish. Like, every time she comes home, she's like super. And I had opened up to her about like some things I was going through that I was kind of insecure about, and she like threw it in my face and she goes like, are you sure it's not just your insecurities? So I was like, okay, wow. And I just shut down completely, because I'm not about to like do this game with these people. So anytime I saw them, I wouldn't say anything. They would come in and I would just not say anything, look down at my phone, ignore their complete existence. But this one, every time they came in the room, hi. Every single time, like a kiss up. But then behind closed doors, talking about them as if we fell out with them and it's us versus them. But then why every time they come in the room, you say hi to them like that's your best friend? That's literally your bestie. That's your sister. Because I don't want drama in my living situation. I want an amicable relationship with my roommate. And then behind closed doors, texting me at 7 a.m. talking about, oh my God, she literally wakes up every morning and goes to Pilates every morning, and it pisses me off. And I'm like, why? And she's like, 'cause she doesn't eat after, and it like promotes this unhealthy standard of... And then when she sees them next, it's hi. And that was really cringe for me to observe and witness, but I was like, okay, you know what? Like, that's just the type of person she is. So when it came time for us to figure out the living situation for the next year, I really sat with myself and I was like, do I want to live with this person again? Like, seriously, is this really gonna be a good situation for me? I decided no, and so I was just like, hey, I'm gonna go do my own thing next year. Good luck to you. Wish you all the best. She continued to play politician. One of our roommates was leaving for the summertime, and she went out of her way to text her and say, have a good summer. The roommate didn't respond, didn't say, oh, you too, you know, because like if I liked someone, and maybe I'm just different, I don't know, but if I liked someone and they told me to have a good summer, I would say, you too, thank you. All she did was heart it and didn't reply. Yeah, that was really weird that you texted her that, considering you talk shit about them all the time. It's like weird that you went out of your way to tell someone who you don't like, have a good summer, you know? Look, I'm just trying to kill them with kindness. Okay. There would be times when after the birthday thing, after we fell out, they would bring my mail up, text me, oh, I put your mail on the kitchen table. Her mail would be sitting on the ground outside. Like, they literally just treated her like dirt. They didn't really give a fuck about her at all once I was out of the picture. But she didn't want to acknowledge that. She thought that was her besties. So she went up to her best friends, her soul sisters, and she was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing like a month-to-month lease next year. I just don't really know. What are you guys thinking about doing next year? Oh, we found someone for your room already. And if you still want to live here, since we technically can't kick you out, then we're all just gonna move out, and then we're gonna leave you responsible for the $4,000 lease as a 23-year-old. Oh no. $4,100. The landlord raised the rent at the last minute. Good luck though, bestie. She had to move back home with her parents. None of that had even happened yet though. I was just sitting there watching someone who I called my best friend since I was 14 years old playing pick me with a bunch of bitches who didn't even respect her, to ask her where she was living for the next year before finding another bitch for her room. Anyway, my actual birthday came around and it was such a good time. I had gone to the club with my friends and I was getting all types of text messages from a whole bunch of bitches. Some bitches who I hadn't even talked to in years. I'm like, what? You remember my birthday? Like, oh my God. So I'm just scrolling through all of my messages. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, I check an email and it's from my landlord. Remember the landlord situation from earlier in the video? And she had apologized numerous time after time after time for making such an ass out of herself over the dryer situation. So I was like, oh my God, she's probably emailing me like a happy birthday thing, just like trying to like make it right with me. So I just opened the email because I was like, this is gonna be so sweet. The two of you are currently 15 days late on your rent.
and you need to pay it immediately.
I said, oh my God, here go this cheap ass dusty bitch begging for rent. Like, and then I turned back around to the email and I said, hold on. You guys, you too. I reread the email. I said, my other roommate was CC'd in the email too. Ha, you dusty bitch. You wanted it to be just a Cameron thing so bad so you could say, look at that black one. He's irresponsible. No, bitch. Your dumbass rented a house to a bunch of 21 and 22-year-olds who are adulting for the first time and learning how to take care of themselves. And sometimes it's gonna be a situation where they didn't pay their rent on time because, bitch, things happen. Nah. She wanted it to be a me thing so bad. It was a me and my roommate thing, and my other roommate who paid the rent late as well was Asian, bitch. One of yours paid it too late, you dumb bitch. It's a coming of age story time. But wait, period. I thought at the beginning of the video you said that you were only 5 days late on it. 5 days late, 15 days late. I mean, what's the difference? To be fair, this was like 3 years ago when I first started filming this video. I did think it was like 5 days late on rent, and then I went back to look at the emails so I could do some research for what actually happened in the video. I found out that it was actually 15 days. Who gives a fuck? Like, what's the difference? Seriously. Let's break it down. Tell me right now what's the difference. Does that change the story at all? I mean, I guess you have a point. It's late both ways regardless. So then what happened next? I sprinted my fucking ass that next morning to the fucking bank so I could get me a cashier's check and put it in the mail. That's what I did. Put the check in the mail? What the fuck is this, 1462? Why didn't you just Zelle her or like send the money electronically? I mean, we're in the fucking new ages. It's like this video is never ending. It's time for another explanation. Part of our lease agreement was that we had to physically mail the checks for our rent to some address in a state that I don't remember. Remember, this was 3 years ago. I don't remember where we mailed it, but we had to mail the checks to her. She refused to take electronic payment because she was this old Asian lady, and you know, they be real superstitious. Really, any old person of any type of ethnicity is really superstitious, but yeah, she was very paranoid. She was like, I don't want fraud, XYZ. And it's actually funny that she refused to accept electronic payment because of fraud, but we're gonna get into that gag in a minute. Anyway, I went to the bank after I got that email like I always did every single month, and I went and got that check and put it in the mail. The reason why I mailed my rent check late, honestly, was because a couple weeks earlier I had gotten COVID and I had to quarantine for a week straight. During that week, I didn't have enough vacation days, and so I had to use like sick days or something, and I wasn't getting paid for sick days. And so I was waiting until like my paychecks became regular again, and then I was honestly just gonna pay both. I was gonna do whatever late fees or whatever. I did actually have the money, and she caught me before I could, you know, do my little like plan thing. So I was just like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna pay the rent right now because I don't want any more drama. The dryer situation was exhausting enough. I'd like for this video to be over right now. Checks the time left on the video. Oh, it's nowhere near done. Okay, yay, I love rest and relaxation. The drama never ends. As someone who started out as a teller at a worldwide bank who ended up getting promoted to being a banker, I developed not only this sense of financial literacy that I already actually had because my parents, you know, I'm not gonna hold you, I didn't grow up underprivileged. Like, my parents very much started me off very well early on in life. I had a credit card at 15 years old. Not a debit card, a credit card. Like, they were building my credit from the beginning. Two of my roommates didn't even have credit cards at all, and one of my other roommates only had gotten a credit card a couple months before we moved into that apartment at 22. I was like, how the fuck do y'all just now have credit cards at 22? Like, and that's the sketchy part about this whole living situation at that, because bitch, how you up letting people live in the apartment without even checking their credit score. Like, see this dusty ass cutting corners ass bitch, like, she didn't even know what was going on. Like, how you... But anyway, like, you need a credit card to be a participating member of society, and I am so grateful to my parents. You know, whatever issues that we might have financially, you know, they did their thing, period. They were highly educated, black, successful people, and they did right by their family financially. So period, whatever. Compliment, yay. Anyway, so I didn't even get a debit card until I was off to college, like when I was like 19. And even then it was like whatever. And any money I had, I just gave it to them and they just let me use the credit card, whatever. With all of that being said, I also developed this sense of paranoia because of how many people would come into the bank talking about how their debit card got stolen, someone spent a bunch of money on their card, they were filing all types of fraud alerts, investigation. And so it made me realize that keeping money in my debit card, which is connected to your checking account, is actually not the smartest thing, because if someone steals your card, they can use that wherever they want. So what I would do was keep all of my money in my savings account, and then whenever I needed the money, I would just go on my phone on the app and transfer a little bit more than what I needed at the time, just in case I got more than what I thought I needed, into my checking, and then that would be that. That way, no one could ever access my money if my wallet gets stolen. Because your savings account isn't connected to any type of card unless you specifically get a card for your savings account. But those are really special circumstances that the average person does not fall under. And I didn't fall under that. My debit card is obviously connected to my checking, so I would always keep my money in my savings account. With that being said, the method that I would use to get the checks and mail it to the landlord was with a cashier's check. I don't have a checkbook. I don't need one. I'm probably never going to get one because I don't keep money in my checking account. And so if there was ever a case like when I lived in San Francisco that I would need to make a check, I would just go to the bank and have them make a cashier's check from the money that I have in my savings account. How a cashier's check works is that it's a check printed from the computer in the bank that acts as cash. So when they take the money out of my savings account and they put it into the cashier's check, the money is encoded into the physical check. So that means whoever receives the check can deposit it right away into their account. They can cash it. They can do whatever they want. The cash is in the check. That was my strategy. That's just something that I do. I still do it to this day. My roommates, however, they had checkbooks. And so how a physical written check works is that they would take the check out of their checkbook, they would write and fill it out, and then when the person who they give the check to receives the check and deposits it or tries to negotiate it in some type of way, that's when the money would actually leave their account. So how that went wrong for two of my roommates was that we were in the kitchen chatting one time and my roommate comes up to us. She's like, "Oh my God, you guys." Hi. The landlord literally just texted me, like, dragging me because my check bounced. Your rent check bounced? Yes, because I mailed it, like, earlier this month on the 1st when it was due, and it was, like, at the end of the month at the time of this specific event that I'm telling you guys about. And so I just assumed that she had deposited already, and so I went and bought a pair of shoes, and then she texted me saying that the check bounced because I don't have any money in my account. Wait, so you spent your rent money on shoes? Yeah, on a pair of denim Jordans. And this was the problem, like, if you didn't, like, grow up with a sense of financial literacy, like, you buying a pair of Jordans. And I never saw her wear them, not once. I was like, Well, I fucking sent the check, like, weeks ago. It's like, why didn't she just fucking deposit the check into her account? Like, why is she just leaving the check sitting there? Because then the money is just sitting in my account. Yes. And then it's like, I can't, like, keep track of, like, how much is what, and this one's dying for a chance to relate to the bitch who didn't like her. She's like, pick me. I'm like, ugh. And I couldn't even empathize really, because we were broke. Like, we had no money. Like, you can't be buying a pair of denim Jordans when you broke. Like, come on now. And especially her, she was one of those weird bitches. She grew up in Compton, which is fine, I guess, but first of all, she skipped out on my birthday, so fuck that bitch and anything she grew up around. Fuck her. One time,
when we were in the kitchen, we were sitting in the kitchen, she started talking about, oh, I looked up like you guys' high school tuition. Like, what? Like, that's the problem. Like, you too worried about other bitches. How about you worry about that budget for that check that bounced? How about worry about that? Like, what are you talking about? Our high school tuition? We were 23 years old. And then, of course, green hairs being pick me, talking about, oh, well, I'm gonna explain why my parents were able to pay for the tuition and this and that. And I looked at that bitch talking about my high school tuition from 700 years ago. I didn't say nothing. Like, I don't gotta explain myself to no bitch why my parents were college educated, got a good job, and sent their kids to private school. Like, hello? Aren't you trying to go to law school? She's like, yeah, I want to be a lawyer. Like, I just always wanted to be a lawyer. It's like, okay, so you spending all that time that you could have been spending studying for the LSAT exam on looking up some bitch's high school tuition who lived in the same apartment as you, and you lived in the biggest room and paid the most amount of rent. So you're really the rich one here. We should be eating you. We should be eating you. Oh, yeah. Like, worry about yourself, bitch. Like, oh, I hate a bitch who's worried about other people. That's why your check bounced. Because you too busy worried about someone high school tuition instead of worrying about how to budget your money. She's like, oh my god, I thought you guys grew up in Oakland. I thought it was the hood. Yeah, well, that's what your dumbass gets for assuming something about someone. So we want to travel all the way back to the beginning of this video when I'm talking about how they just came to all these assumptions, never got to know a bitch before just deciding about someone. Yeah, the media is gonna push a story about how it's the hood, it's ghetto. You think positivity sells? You think they're gonna sell the story? Oh, there's so many like successful black people who live here. People like, I have friends whose parents were CEOs who were black. My father worked in tech. Like, of course they're never gonna talk about that in the media because negativity sells, and your stupid ass bought it. You bought it. So you bought a narrative in the media. You bought some jean Jordans instead of paying your rent. You skipped out on your friend's birthday because this other stupid bitch who couldn't even speak up for herself got in your head, got you to skip out on his birthday. It's a mess. You're a mess. And then the Greens apologizing for throwing me under the bus during the birthday thing, talking about I felt inferior to them. Like, inferior? I'm like, who am I living with? Like, inferior? I'm a bad bitch. I ain't never felt inferior to no bitch. I must have skipped that part of vocab in the 2nd grade. I never heard that word in my life. I'm a bad bitch. I had to Google it. I said, what? So inferior? What is, I don't never, what? No bitch can make me feel nothing. Especially not a bitch who disrespects me. She done invited her friends over for Halloween. The roommates hung out with my friend in the living room instead of hanging out with her and her friends in the kitchen during Halloween. Like, they didn't even, anything you brought to the table, they didn't fuck with you. They didn't fuck with you. What do you mean inferior? Fuck those bitches. But if she, you know, we already talked about her face, so that's that. You're a mess. You bought some jeans, didn't pay your rent, didn't study for the LSAT. You came to a conclusion, and then over time, you realized it was wrong. What that got to do with me right now? I done dropped out of college 19 times and was working at the bank. So who cares about my high school tuition? Like, seriously, who gives a fuck? My checks never bounced because I was focused on myself and my strategy for how to live life efficiently, bitch. You need to worry about that LSAT exam, those bounce checks. You sitting on Google, snooping. Oh. That's 2 hours that could have been studying for your future. She was buying Jordans made of denim jeans. It's some of you guys who have been there for me since the very beginning. One person said they subscribed to me when they were in the 5th grade or something. They're about to graduate high school. Y'all remember, I've been grinding forever. That summer, I was posting 2 videos a week and working full-time at the bank, stacking that paper before I moved out, bitch. Like, you on Google. I'm stacking my paper, making sure that my future is secure. So while you're abandoning the LSAT and your dreams, worried about another bitch high school tuition, abandoning your dreams, abandoning your friend's birthday, abandoning rent so you could buy some ugly denim Jordans. They weren't even cute. What the fuck? Like, la 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 la. So remember earlier in the video when I told you guys about how green hair called me accusatory, defensive, XYZ, ABC, and then ended up getting in a fight with the landlord in the same way that I did. She emailed the landlord asking the landlord to start depositing the checks earlier so that the money wasn't just sitting in their checking account. And then the landlord dragged her for filth, CC'd all of us for no reason, and just dragged her, and they went back and forth and all that. So that was what that was about. And I never had that specific problem because I took
took out cashier's checks. So the money was taken right out of my account and put into the check digitally and printed out of the computer. And then when I mailed the check off, there went the money. Like, it was out of my account, so I didn't have to do all that unnecessary budgeting. I was at my friend's house celebrating the new year. Oh my god, did you just get an email? Yes. Oh my god, it's my landlord. Oh my god, I wonder what she is going to say. It's probably going to be something really sweet, like, have a good new year. Right. Okay, let's see what she said. So I opened the email from the landlord, and it was in the same chain as 15 days prior on the day of my birthday when she had emailed me and one of my roommates about how we hadn't paid our rent yet. Except this time on New Year's Eve when she emailed us, she was like, hey, yeah, I received the rent from the one roommate, but of course, I still haven't received the check from Cameron. I said, of course. See, remember earlier in the video when I told you guys that that year was when the concept of the apologies started to fall flat for me? It was because I noticed that people would mainly just apologize to save face, and they didn't actually give a fuck, and they didn't actually feel bad about what they actually did. If she was really sorry, like how she said a million times, then there wouldn't be this gotcha moment. Like, all I did was ask her for an update on the dryer that she said she was gonna get fixed or replaced. Why is it now, of course, Cameron hasn't paid? But, of course, I had to be the one to swallow the character assassination and be the mature one in this situation, especially because my landlord just said that she didn't receive my fucking rent check. What the fuck? What happened to my rent check? And what made this whole situation even worse was that I paid my rent late, and I did that intentionally too. I intentionally paid my rent late, and then when I sent it, it never got to her, so that just makes this all seem really bad on my end. So I was like, fuck. There was a little intermission that happened in between New Year's Eve when I got that email and the next week when the bank was finally open, because New Year's is obviously a federal holiday. The bank is closed, so I couldn't go to the bank to check that out. Where I was at my friend's house for New Year's Eve and I fucking left my key inside of the apartment. So I had to text the landlord to open the door while we're fighting about this rent check situation. And she charged me $50 off my security deposit to walk upstairs and open the door. She also charged me one time after all of this was said and done, the heater smelled like gas, and she charged me for that. Like, she just charged me for a lot of things. She took like $600 off my security deposit. I was like, wow. It was like a lot of little bullshit, but by the end of my lease there, I was just so tired that I didn't care enough to go and fight her in court. I mean, I'm blessed. I didn't really need her little $600. If she wanted to charge me $50 to open the door, and then one time she charged $80 for labor. She said my labor off my security deposit. Like, she just did a whole bunch of shit. Okay, girl, you do you. One of my roommate's dads was like, oh yeah, it's those old Chinese people, greedy, just so greedy. I don't know anything about that. All I know is, as a person, she was greedy. I don't know if it's because she's Chinese. I don't know if it's because she was wearing the color orange on a Wednesday. All I know is that bitch deserves to burn in hell. Like the hottest hellfire. I don't know nothing about Chinese, nothing. Don't put that on me, nothing. I said, I don't know. So I went to the bank and I showed them the receipt of the check that I mailed to the landlord. And when they ran the check through the systems, they found that it was deposited. So she said that she never received the check, yet she did deposit it, because if you look at the back of the check, there's her signature. You have to sign the check before you deposit it. She deposited it, and she continuously accused me throughout the weeks of never having sent it. And I said, why don't you go to the bank and double check then? And I sent her a picture of my check receipt, and I said, here, I work at the bank, this is how it goes. You walk up to the teller and you read the number of the check off to them, and then they can tell you if you deposited that check or not. She continuously accused me of not sending it. She said, you never sent it. I said, but there's a way to prove it, because from my end, here's your signature. You did. So why don't you just go to your fucking bank and see if it matters that much to you? She starts talking about the mortgage, you pay late fees and all this, demanding. I'm like, okay, so you're kind of like a moron. So how about you go to a Chinese bank or something, or ask if they have someone who can translate this in Mandarin to you, because it feels like everything I'm saying, you just take it as an attack. She continues to demand. So I go to my boss. My boss ends up paying my rent. She's like, here's $1,000, $1,100, just pay your rent with this so that like she can get off your back and you can like ease your stress. That was literally so nice. It's so crazy how my story times work, because I'm just talking about these isolated situations where in this video, my boss is actually like a really good person. She seems like this big sister role model that I never had. And then in the job video, she's just a racist psychopath bitch. And that's the duality of man. Like seriously, everyone, you know, has their good moments and bad moments. But anyway, this was the last email that was sent regarding the rent check to my landlord. And this wasn't the last time we talked to the landlord either. Like I told you guys, after all of this, we had the heater smelling like gas. There were rats. One time the roof blew off because San Francisco is really windy and stormy year round. My bed fell through the floor after all this. There was a lot of incidences with the landlord where we were contacting her and we were talking to her back and forth. This all happened in December and January. Our lease ended in August. We had a lot of time after the rent check situation where we were contacting her. She never replied to this email. The rent check never came back up. And then when it came time for the security deposits to come out, she took off a bunch of like shit, like random bullshit. Rent check was never mentioned, which means that she had the rent check the entire time. I did mail it late, but she had it the entire time. And she wasn't big enough to apologize again because she fucked up again. She accused me, she assassinated my character for a second time, and she wasn't big enough to apologize again or take accountability for the fact that her dumb ass deposited my rent check and forgot, and then went in my email popping it on me, telling me that I never sent it, and of course Cameron and all this. So, yeah. Yeah.